Hey everyone. I just wanted to first and foremost say thank you so much for the support, the love, the encouragement, and all the other ways in which people have shown their support, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, it makes me feel comforted and secure and more secure in myself, knowing that this isn't not right. This is an injustice and it needs to be dealt with accordingly. So many people have come to me and they've reached out and said like, "Yo, either I've experienced this or somebody else that I know has experienced this, and has fallen victim to the institutions or the mental health institution." We already know about the education system and the justice system, but the mental health and health institution doesn't get as much limelight, and I think is now is the time to do so. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support. It just really gives me assurance to know that we are not alone. And I just had a conversation with somebody from LA, and her experiences coming and living in London for some time is how we in London seem to have be screaming silently. You know, we don't seem to. Another person told me about this story about how they knew somebody who was pregnant, who was grieving for their mom who passed away. She went on a tube, and you know, she was crying. She was in tears. She was grieving. And do you know what they did? Instead of consoling her and seeing what she's doing, they moved away from her. You know, they moved away from her, moved to the other side of the carriage. Another story, I know somebody when I was walking on the way to a concert who was in the middle of the road crying. When I went to see if they were okay, they're like, I don't want to live anymore. And we moved them to the side of the road. 2 hours later, we managed to get them to a safe space. But in that time, about 300 people were there, and nobody else consoled or checked to see if it was okay. It seems as if, as we are in London, we are so insular, and it's a problem. So many of us are going through these experiences, but we don't want to talk about them, and that is, one of the reasons why I feel like in solidarity we have power, and we are sharing more. We have we are able to be more compassionate and help each other. So I think this is really important that when we're going through these experiences, especially with the mental health, we talk about it, we raise it, and I'm so grateful that people are, connecting to this. We have the power, and it's empowering for, it's empowering me to hear other people's stories and also to receive other people's responses. So thank you. Yeah. And also, one of the things that I would like to stress is the importance. This is for anybody who's going through any mental health issues, especially if you're inside the institution, to know who you are. Because in this space, there's been so many cases that if I did not have a strong sense of who I am, I would be blown in the wind. Like a tree. If it's not connected to its roots and knows where it comes from, what its values are, what it stands for, who it is, then it can be blown in the wind when a storm comes or whatnot. When I was in here, when I first came in here, the first few days, I took medication. They forced me to take medication. They gave me injection, completely humiliated me, putting it in my backside, and so I was under medication. 3 days later, after this injection, I started waking up in the night with cold hands, and my heart felt like somebody was sitting on my heart. I went to the doctors that same morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and said to them, "This is that and the other." The next night, they gave me the same medication. Yeah. When I said to them, "Yo, I don't feel comfortable taking this. This is what happened this morning. Blah blah blah. I've spoken to this doctor, and this doctor, and you're still giving me this medication. I don't feel comfortable taking this medication." You know what she said to me? She said to me, "Nah, it's not the medication that's making you feel this way. It's your anxiety. You feel anxious." And I was like, "What?" Here's this woman telling me how I'm feeling. Like, that is arrogance on its next level. And that's just like a macro. That's a macro. That's one situation that kind of like exemplifies the fact that this institution is arrogant. It thinks that because it's read a couple of books for 7 years, like if you're a doctor, you've read a book for 7 years, you have the qualifications and the intelligence to tell me how I feel about myself. And if I don't know myself, I'll be like, oh yeah, sure, it's because I'm anxious. Oh yeah, sure, it's because I'm fearful. And then therefore you get lost, and you just go further and further away from yourself. When I look around this place, and I think I'll show it to you later, you look around some of these people, they look like zombies. They look like ghosts, shells of who they are. And that's what they want you to be. That's, oh, you're compliant. The consultant who was dealing with me said to me, I will never forget this, oh, you don't want to take the blood test, you don't want to take these ECGs. Why? You know, if you take these ECGs, I will be kinder to you. She said that to me. That's coercion. That is coercion. You're telling me that if I comply, you will be kinder to me. You will treat me better if I comply. So it's not about my healing. It's about me being compliant. Yeah? Which is completely different. This is some 1984 flipping bullshit. Yeah? Sorry, excuse my language, but it's true. It's about compliance and it's about obedience. This is no different to like them schools where they try to break you down and make you become a robot so you can become them again. Yeah? So just to reiterate, if you're going through this system, whether it's the education system, judicial system, or health system, whatever systems, make sure we know ourselves. Make sure that we talk and we connect and don't suffer in silence. Because when we suffer in silence and we become islands, that's when we can be disconnected and taken advantage of. And also, big love, big love to all those who have supported and shared their advice, encouragement, assurance, and it's helped me so much. So thank you so much. Appreciate love. Yeah, blessings.